we're going to have a look at how to do a vinyasa. You know, people do vinyasas for years and years and spend a lot of time doing them, and perhaps they don't even change. And it's not because they can't change. Quite often it's because the right techniques is not being used. And the most common question I get asked is, Potts, how do you do a vinyasa? Or, Potts, how do you jump back? So the first thing I say to these students is, well, show me what you're doing. And generally, when they show me, it looks something like this. We'll have a look at jumping through in a moment. But that's usually, you know, I see that quite a lot. And you might say to yourself, well, what's wrong with that? It's quite even, it's relatively graceful, and it's really safe, you're not going to hurt yourself. And in that regard, well, there is nothing wrong with it. But if you want to develop strength, then that technique offers extremely little. The most important step in a vinyasa is lifting off. Lifting off is step one, and that's the most important thing. So to try to lift off, the hands need to be on the floor, just in front of the hips, the knees up and the feet crossed, and then you make an attempt to lift up. Maybe you get up, maybe you don't. After some practice, you'll get up a little bit, and then you can get up higher. Now, the ability to lift yourself off the floor does not require strong arms. They need to be strong enough so that you can do a push-up, and that's it. So lifting weights and that sort of thing, developing your arm strength, isn't going to help you to lift off the floor. The ability to lift off the floor is to shorten your torso between here and here, and to round your spine. Because if my torso gets shorter, this is me with a long torso and I can't lift off the floor, no matter how hard I try. If my torso gets shorter by using my stomach and rounding my spine, then lifting off the floor is no problem. So this strength comes from this part of the body, not this part of the body or my shoulders. After you can lift off the floor, the second step is to try to get the feet through the hands. In the beginning, it'll be like this. Maybe they just don't go through no matter what you try, and you're stuck. So you sit down and we revert back to the old way of doing it, jumping back from there. But after some attempts of trying, then the feet will come through. It's just a matter of persisting and being patient, and then the feet scrape through the hands, and then from here you hop back just like we did on the other one earlier. After trying that technique over and over, you'll educate yourself on what's required to make the feet lighter, and that is to lift up into a smaller ball with the body, making the body into a ball shape, allowing you to get up higher, and the feet get lighter, and they can just slide through the hands. So that's like this. And then jumping back from there. And after that's been tried, then the feet can stay up in the air, and by trying to work on making the feet really light, then more strength will be developed here, and that is what helps you get up higher in the air. And then the feet stay off in the air. They might hit the floor somewhere, and then you go back. And after a lot of repetition of that, then the feet stay up in the air all the time. And then you can go back like that. Now, coming forwards presents some other problems as well. What people often do when they're hopping forwards is that they make landing on the floor with the feet in front of the hands, they make that the goal. So if we make that the goal and just try and hop through as quick as we can, it'll look like this. something like that, which is pretty dangerous. Sure, I got through, and if your goal is from downward dog to sit down as quickly as you can, then that technique you will achieve your goal. But as far as developing strength, that technique has nothing going for it at all. And in fact, every time you hop forwards, you want to actually aim your feet to land behind your hands, not in front of them. So when you're learning to hop through, you on purpose land the feet behind them. And you sit down and then bring the feet forwards. Now after you're comfortable there, so the goal is, or the aim here, is that we want the feet to land as lightly as possible behind the hands. After you've achieved that, then the second step, or the second stage, you can now drag the feet through and sit down. So when I'm dragging the feet through, that's the exact reverse of when we drag the feet through the hands to hop back earlier. Same thing. And then after some time of repeating that, as your strength develops, then you still want to aim the feet behind the hands as if you're trying to stop yourself from actually moving forwards. And that's how the feet stay in the air with control. More like that. So I'm not actually trying to get them forwards, I'm trying to make them stop. Even though I didn't stop, but you're trying to slow yourself down as much as possible. And I think if you practice some of those techniques, hopefully that will really help your vinyasas. And if you like to, have a look at our website or our YouTube channel, and you can see me doing a vinyasa in its unbroken form. And if you have any questions or comments, just feel free to contact me, or I'll get back to you. I'm Marc Potter from Sun Salute Yoga in Claremont, and I hope that's helpful for you.